Hi, my name's Rebecca. I'm the West Valley Dietitian here at Ironwood Cancer and Research Center. We know the holidays are a stressful time for you and your loved ones to maintain healthy eating. So I wanted to come here and teach you how to make a 5-minute appetizer that you can take to all of your holiday get-togethers that will help you stay a little bit more on track and help your friends and family as well. Okay, so to start, I want to just go over all of the ingredients so you can have it ready. Very simple and versatile, just depending on what you have in the house. The main ingredient is going to be Greek yogurt. It will taste really good with the vanilla Greek yogurt. You can do any percent fat that you want. I have the 0% fat Faye Greek yogurt. It has a lot of good protein, some calcium, vitamin D, so it's chock full of nutrients. With that, I'm gonna mix in some peanut butter. This is just a little mini Jif natural peanut butter. Has some protein as well, some healthy fats, and it tastes delicious. I also have a syrup here. This is just a sugar-free because I grew up on it and I love it. Probably doing a pure maple syrup will be a little bit healthier as far as ingredients go, but also more calories, so it just depends sort of what you're trying to achieve with your health goals right now. I'm gonna flavor it with some vanilla extract, some cinnamon here, and then I'm gonna top it off with these little fun holiday sprinkles. So that's what I had in my cabinet. I would say that's the base, and then the sides are a little versatile. So we're gonna add some gingerbread man, some of these Quaker Rice Crisp apple cinnamon. They're delicious with any type of sweet dip, and a banana and an apple. Those are gonna be our sides. And let's get started. So I'm gonna start with the Greek yogurt. I really don't have any type of servings. I just sort of go for it, and I think that's also why it takes 5 minutes to make. You can do more yogurt to make it a little bit more of a tart flavor. You can do more peanut butter to get more of that nutty flavor, or more or less syrup to make it sweeter. So it's really up to you on what flavor profile you're trying to go with. The Greek yogurt is the base of it though. Oops, spilled a little. The Greek yogurt's gonna be the base, so that's what you're gonna wanna put the most in. And so we're just putting, I'd say a little bit more. That way a lot of people can eat it. Obviously, if you're making for a big group, I would say it would be good to maybe fill up this whole bowl, but I'm just doing a little small portion for you. So that is the first thing. Second thing, I always put the the peanut butter in. So I just have this little container here, and I think this is the perfect amount for the amount of Greek yogurt I put in. I think it's like a quarter of a cup, a half a cup. So we're gonna mix that in there. And then I'm gonna put the syrup in. I like things sweeter. That's just me and my sweet tooth. So I like to put a lot. It also helps with thinning it down to get that better consistency, which makes it spread a little bit more. You can add some milk, almond milk, soy milk, whatever milk suits your pleasure here, but I'm just gonna add water to help with that thinning right now. I think the milk will give it a little bit more of a richness. Then we're gonna put some vanilla extract in there. You can never have too much vanilla extract, never. So I'm gonna do like 2 little things of it. That's probably about a teaspoon. Okay, and then you can put some cinnamon to mix in, and then I think it's really pretty to put it on top as well. So I would say with this amount, I'm doing like a half a teaspoon. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix it up. I think what takes the most time is just getting the ingredients out, but actually making it is very quick. I would recommend as you're making it, take this one out, to mix it in one bowl and then put it in whatever bowl you're presenting it with, because it just makes it prettier. It doesn't have all the stuff on the side. And you can do, again, whatever consistency you want. I think I actually have a good consistency right here. If you even get a little hand mixer, it'll make it a little bit smoother, so that's an option as well, but we're just gonna do a super simple way of preparing it. So you see it's pretty creamy. You can see the cinnamon in there. It sort of looks like a gingerbread dip, which works perfect because we're gonna add some gingerbread cookies. Okay, so now that we have our dip, it looks pretty mixed. I don't see any chunks or color streaks of anything, so I would say it's pretty mixed right now. I'm gonna try and get it off of the sides. Okay, so the dip is done. Now we are just gonna do our sides. So I have these Rice Crisps. They have a lot of whole grains. They're super delicious. So these are gonna be on the side. I'll put them here. I'm just gonna do like the dip in the middle and then place everything else on the side. Just do a little bit for now, but it's easy to refill. I'm gonna cut up some apple. Fruit is a little iffy because it does brown, so put some type of acidity on it, maybe some lemon juice, lime juice, to try and help maintain that bright color and crispness, but I'm just gonna cut up a few right now. And I promised I washed my hands too. Make sure to wash your hands, food safety. I'll cut up a little bit more. Okay, and then you can arrange these, get this out of the way. You can arrange these in a pretty little way, maybe layer them, put them on top of each other, whatever looks good to you. I have a banana too. Probably, again, would not recommend a banana unless you're serving it right away, which I think it's gonna go very quickly. It's delicious, so if everyone's there and you wanna cut up the banana and then put it on the plate to be served right away, it would be a good choice. I don't know how you open your banana, but this is the right way. Okay, so we're gonna do some thin cuts of this. Obviously, it would be good to maybe have some toothpicks if you're taking it to a get together so people don't have to get their grimy hands all on it. I feel like banana you can make look really pretty, even if I don't. We're gonna cut a few more of these and put that on the side. And then I have these adorable little gingerbread men. And I'm gonna put them on there as well. They're really not giving you any nutrients like everything else, but they're delicious. So we are gonna add those on the side. Just have a few here. And then we're gonna finish off our dip. So to make it look pretty, I'm gonna put a little bit more cinnamon just to top it. Just a light amount because some people don't really like cinnamon, but they're crazy. I'm gonna put a little gingerbread guy in it just to make it look cute and festive. And then I have these holiday sprinkles I'm gonna add. These are little peppermint crunch sprinkles, but just anything will do. I just think these look pretty and they came out really fast, so. And then I'm gonna put some green to have that color in there. And that's it. So super simple. You can make a big batch in a very easy way and really versatile. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm gonna try it right now and make sure it actually tastes good. And it's great, like I thought it would be. So I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around, I'm gonna go through some ways that you can implement healthy eating during these stressful times, and I hope you stay, listen, and gather something from it. All right, welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed that demonstration. So now we're gonna get a little bit deeper into ways to actually implement healthy eating throughout the holiday times, not just when you go to a get-together. So to go over just our topics, we have expectations versus reality, calories and specific foods that you'll find at get-togethers, ways to add, not taking away within our plates, hunger scale, the plate portioning, portion sizing, and substitutions you can make within the meals themselves. So to start, we have expectation versus reality, things that you think are going to happen and maybe they don't. So first expectation, I'll lose weight every week no matter what time of the year it is. In reality, wouldn't this be great? But it doesn't happen like that. Life happens, especially during the holidays. Weight loss can be very difficult to maintain. We have parties with friends and families, work events, and endless supplies of baked goods. So you want to give yourself grace through these moments, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is consistency, but it's also important to enjoy yourself and not stress yourself out, because that can lead to bad decisions too. So another expectation is if we have an extremely restrictive diet, you can eat more high-calorie foods during the holidays. But in reality, more weight is gained when people stop over restrictions of calories. More weight is gained when people over restrict calories. The next expectation is if I have an extremely restrictive diet, I can eat more high-calorie foods during the holidays. But in reality, if you over-restrict calories, your body learns how to run off of less calories. So when you load it up with calories after that high restriction, it isn't able to burn them off efficiently because it's not used to it. So that leads to more weight gain. This is also why over-restrictions in diets, ones that allow sometimes under 1,000 calories or under 1,200 calories, make it extremely hard to sustain weight loss when people go back to normal eating. So when we have these fad diets or 6-week lose 20-pound diets, come a year later, we've maybe gained that back and more. Last expectation is I'm only successful at weight loss if I am losing weight. And that's just not true, especially during these times. If you're able to at least maintain your weight, that is a big feat during holidays. So let's go over sort of what calories are involved with an average holiday meal. An average meal is around 4,000 calories and 229 grams of fat. And I'm sorry to do this to you, but I have to make you aware of the calories on your plate. But if you didn't like that, then definitely cover your ears for the next part. The 3 biggest contributors are our beloved pecan pie, stuffing, and 6 ounces of dark meat. So dark meat will give you 350 calories, a cup of stuffing is 350 calories, and a slice of pecan pie, 1/8 of a slice, is around 500 calories. So from here, we want to learn how to navigate these meals a little bit better. More common foods that are higher in calories are turkey, not as bad, 4 ounces, 160 calories, and then with gravy you have 260, so a lot less than the dark meat. Sweet potato, a medium one, is 110 calories, candied is 305 calories. Mashed potatoes, you get 210 in 1 cup, and biscuits for 1 is 250 calories. So instead of looking at the Thanksgiving, New Year's, or Christmas's feast and thinking of all the delicious foods you should avoid, look at what you can add. There is evidence piled high around restricting in your relationship with food. I call this the red button concept. I don't know if I'm the originator of this term, but this is what I call it, and it makes sense to me. So if someone tells you not to push the red button, what can we not stop thinking about? Right, pushing the red button. So this can create a rabbit hole of obsessive thoughts, binge eating episodes, and negative critical thoughts that lead to feelings of shame, which all contribute to fueling this vicious cycle, not actually helping it. So start to think of things that you can add to your plate, not take away. First is more fiber and protein to your plate. Include more vegetables and fruits, and those will help you feel more full. Include more lean protein like the turkey, lean ham, and that will help slow down your digestion with carbs and support satiety for longer. Planning your plate around these items will reduce your intake of other foods without feeling like you're missing out on those delicious hot dinner rolls. Next, I think some of the most insidious calories come from the starter plates, which is why I gave you a nice appetizer that you can take to a get-together. A good practice with appetizers is to take a small plate, choose 2 to 3 items that catch your eye, and who knows, you may not like one of them, but you have small portions to try the foods and not feel like you're restricting yourself from things that look really yummy. So, in which, if you can tell by now, not restricting is an extremely important part for long-term success of healthy choices. If you see a salad there, fill up on that. And choosing those healthier choices in the beginning, if they are available, will help you eat less during the main meal. I'm traveling far away from home to friends and family houses can make exercise sort of a last priority, but we want to try to add it in as we can in a functional way. So I think going on walks or hikes with a family member can be a really nice way to connect with them without distractions from all of the cooking being done, Christmas wrapping, television, the phone. And I think it's a nice way to get active without feeling like it's a chore. So maybe after a dinner or something, ask your uncle or cousin and say, hey, do you want to go on a walk with me? It doesn't have to be this big thing. Just be like, hey, I just want to go on a walk and get some fresh air. And that's just a little simple way. Start doing those little changes and adding that from day to day, whether it's a get together or not. Just every day, try and do some kind of movement for 30 minutes a day. I don't know if this is only my family, but the dish I see the least at our get-togethers is salads and vegetables. So I always say, offer one of these to bring to the feast. You're still contributing and you're spreading the health wealth to everyone else. Next, we want to add time to your meals. Take longer to eat your meals. The longer it takes, the more digestion is happening, which means we're going to feel fuller and we're going to eat less. And this can also play into the next point, which is add mindfulness practices. Adding mindfulness is sort of a practice. It's not something that's just going to happen. If we're eating slow and that's not a normal practice for you, it may take some conscious effort to achieve a longer meal. This also gives way to monitoring your hunger. Scarfing down food very quickly doesn't allow you to feel your hunger and fullness cues, which I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on the next slide. Lastly, add more water. This will fill your stomach and help curb your appetite throughout the day. So this is the hunger scale. It's rated on 1 to 10. You can see there's red on both ends of it, 10 being super duper full where you're uncomfortable, and 1 being starving, maybe lightheaded, dizzy, overthinking about food, not being able to get your mind off of food. These are all signs that you're in the 1 to 2 range. It can be a little bit of a tricky thing. We would think of this as a natural biological practice within us all. And to some extent, that's true. As babies, we monitored our hunger and it wasn't a problem. We would cry when we were hungry. We would let our parents know when we were hungry. It wasn't this complex thing. But as we age, complexities form and a lot of people lose the ability to feel their hunger and fullness. If you have a long history of curating your meals around calories and not your hunger and fullness, we can start to lose the ability to feel these cues, and that can be difficult to repair. I don't want to deter anyone from this practice by saying that, but in efforts to be transparent, I don't think this will happen in one meal. It can be a very helpful practice to start working on today, and if you feel disconnected from these cues. Just like any practice, it takes continuous work to master. Start by checking in with yourself before a meal and ask yourself, am I actually hungry? And this is such an important question because sometimes we start to eat because we're stressed, sad, bored, whatever the case may be, and that's driving us to find comfort in food. So after you check in with yourself in the beginning of the meal, halfway through the meal, ask yourself, am I enjoying this? What is my hunger level right now? These are important questions for you moving forward with the meal. And then at the end of your meal, reflect on what you ate, how you felt before, during, after. Do you feel satisfied? Do you feel filled? Did you overeat or are you still hungry? Keeping a log of these feelings over time can help repair those cues of hunger and fullness that may have been lost. Why is the hunger scale so important? Because if we go into a party starving, we're bound to eat more. This is sometimes why I also don't recommend intermittent fasting, because most people then overconsume by the time their fasting window is over and they're allowed to eat. Some do just fine fasting and aren't hungry, but it's something to be aware of if you're just counting the minutes until you can eat. Also, if we can't feel when we are full, we're more at risk of overeating and feeling lethargic. Don't feel defeated if this takes time. Just keep working on it. It's such a valuable tool during the holidays and every day after that. So now to implement sort of what healthy eating looks like, you have some practical ways to stay on track, I would say, during these times and even after, but let's look at a plate and see sort of how it should look from day to day and meal to meal. I love this guide from myplate.gov because it's easy to implement whether you're at home, at someone's house, out to eat, and it allows you to enjoy those foods and reduce that guilty feeling after. So you look at a plate and half of your plate is going to be filled with non-starchy vegetables. That means vegetables doesn't include potatoes, sweet potato, corn, and peas. Those are going to be a little bit starchier, which means they're more like a carbohydrate in how we digest them. Then a quarter of the plate is going to be a carbohydrate, hopefully high fiber. We want that for around 75% of our servings of carbs a day, but it also allows that flexibility. So if you're wanting something else, whether it be like maybe some mashed potatoes or fries or something like that, then it's like, okay, I'm going to have this amount on this quarter of the plate, and that's my portion sizing. And then on the last quarter, you have your lean protein. So this is poultry, fish, turkey, all of those are going to be leaner. Those red meats, dark meat, chicken with the skin are going to be a little bit higher in saturated fats. So we want to have a little bit less of those from day to day. This is another way to help with the portionings. Your protein would be the size of your palm. Your vegetables would be the size of your fist or the whole hand, I guess you could say. Your carb would be in your palm if you had cupped it, and your fat would be a thumb size. So choose at least 2 fist-sized portions of fruits and vegetables. Stick with half a fist-sized portions of grains, potatoes, yams, and a half palm-sized portion of lean protein and starchy beans. Try and keep high-calorie condiments and sauces on the side. That way you can dip and monitor more of what's being added to the meal itself. So we all know alcohol is unavoidable, and by no means would I ever tell you to decline alcohol unless, of course, your doctor recommended it, but make more conscious choices. Mixed drinks are going to be naturally higher in sugar. That's why they taste amazing. So if you're choosing maybe between a red and a white wine, there's some that are lower in calories, but it's very specific on the type, on the brand. It's hard to sort of say this one's going to be more or less calories than the next one. But I do always recommend red wine more than white wine, and it's not just because I love it more, but it's filled with antioxidants and it can help lower your cholesterol. So I would say go red or go home, but if you are more of a white wine lover, include maybe some Pinot Grigios. Those are going to be a little bit lighter in terms of calories. Red Cabernets are great, and some Pinot Noirs are usually the lowest, but again, it's pretty hit or miss. This doesn't mean I'm promoting downing a bottle of Pinot Grigio, because this can cause a myriad of other issues, maybe decrease your ability to make all these conscious choices that we just went over, and just have you eat a whole pecan pie in one sitting. So we also want to think of maybe some interactions that it would have with medicine. Just be conscious of your body, your situation and health, and, pair that in congruence with alcohol. A moderate drinking level would be 1 drink for women and 2 drinks for men per day. 1 drink would be 5 ounces of wine, 12 ounces of beer, and 1.5 ounces of 80 proof liquor. I like to say you can also substitute vegetables for something of a higher calorie, and you can also combine. So you can do a cauliflower mash instead of a mashed potato. You can do Greek yogurt in substitution for sour cream. Applesauce for oil can be treated at a 1-to-1 ratio. So you have a tablespoon of canola oil, you can add a tablespoon of applesauce. Practice volume eating when cooking. So all of these substitutions can also contribute to the concept of volume eating, meaning you're going to include these lower calorie options with the higher calorie options to provide a higher volume meal. So for instance, with the mashed potatoes, you can go ahead and cook the cauliflower really soft, mash it up, and combine it with the mashed potatoes, so you're getting more and it still tastes really good, and you're getting more fiber and vitamins. You can also add flaxseed to breadcrumbs. You can crush them up and mix them together for a lower sodium and higher fiber addition. There's various options for adding volume to meals. Just get creative and make an effort to incorporate these into your dishes. In summary, drink lots of water, get moving, enjoy all foods in moderation, practice mindfulness at meal times and during the day, and give yourself grace for whatever happens, because this is a moment in time and you have the rest of the year. I appreciate you guys watching my demonstration and listening to this presentation. I hope you gained something meaningful out of it. If you're ever needing more help or guidance in this area, please reach out to me. My email's at the end here. Again, my name is Rebecca. I'm the West Valley Dietitian, and I wish you all happy holidays.